Okay guys, so him from the Powerpuff Girls, we are starting by spraying my hair black. I put it back into a really tight bun, and then I took some black hairspray and I just sprayed my hair black, mainly because I didn't want to have to mess with a bald cap. You definitely could put a bald cap on. I personally hate them, so I didn't bother with it. I just used the hairspray. It did not stain my hair. Just to let you know, I know a lot of people are worried about like black hair color sprays staining. It did not. So yeah, moving on, I'm just outlining his like widow's peak hairline. He has a very like solid black widow's peak, and it's like then it goes into this kind of like heart shape of a hairline. So I'm just outlining that really quickly with some white liner just so that I don't take the red up too far. After that, we start to fill in his face. I use some red cream paint. I think this is from Wet n Wild. Now, I do have to apologize. In this video, my lighting goes crazy. It goes back and forth between being very warm and very cool. And that's because I filmed this in the middle of the day and the sun was shining through my window, which really threw off the white balance. But also, the red caught the light really weird and it threw off the white balance. Anyways, I apologize for that. But anyways, if I had to do this again, I would have made this red a little bit lighter. So I actually lightened it up quite a bit, and I thought that it would be good on my palette. It looked a lot lighter or brighter of a red than when I put it on my skin, but such is life. It ended up working out just fine. Another thing that I forgot to do in this video is color correct my eyebrows. I thought that the red would have been pigmented enough to cover it up, and it did cover my eyebrows, but you can still kind of see them, the darkness of them through the red. If I had to do this again, I would have put a white concealer over my eyebrows too, just to make sure that there was absolutely no brown showing through whatsoever. Make sure you do your ears. Then moving on, I just go into painting the hairline, and again, just using a cream paint. I think I'm using the Athena You Can Be Makeup Athena palette here. And all I'm doing is taking a small detail brush, and I am brushing on the hairline, and I'm blending it back into the hair. Again, you could have used a bald cap for this process, but I just didn't want to have to deal with the latex and everything like that, so I just sprayed my hair black. Now we're going to set the face. I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder, and I really heavily set the face because, again, when using the Wet n Wild cream paints from past experience, they need set. You almost can't overset them. Here I think I went a little bit overboard. I might have put a little bit too much powder on it because it really does kind of like dull down and darken the red color. But I was so nervous that the red was going to smear everywhere or like move on my face. So I just really wanted to make sure that it would stay in place, stay where I put it. Lightly dust it off, just taking a nice fluffy face brush and gently going over any of the powdery spots. Then moving on to the nose contour. Now here's where I say I wish I would have done like a lighter or brighter red, was because I spent way too long on my nose contour, so I apologize in advance. I was having a really hard time getting red shadows or red pigments to show up on the already red face since it was already rather dark. So then I had to use gray and blacks to shade on the red. But the problem is that the grays and the blacks showed up a little too prominently. So I had to go, and I had to do a lot of blending, and I had to go back and forth between red and gray and black and red and gray and black with multiple different brushes. I'm going in with a detail brush. First, I go in with a eyeliner brush, then I go in with like a detail pencil brush, then I go in with a blending brush. So it just took me a really long time to get the blending and the contours right for the nose and the eyes. And again, it's because my base red color for my face was a little bit darker than I had anticipated it being from what I had mixed on my palette. But again, it all worked out in the end. It just took a very, very long time to blend out. So if you are working on a him look, just be patient. Do not go in heavy with the colors first. Build up your colors. Go in light, then darken it up as you go. Because you don't really want to have to start over, and it's really hard to kind of like take little spots off and then start cover those up. After I get my nose contoured somewhat to my liking, I do highlight my nose with a red sparkly eyeshadow, and I take that all the way up, again, just to kind of make sure that the prominent squareness of his nose is there. Then I move on to my eyes. And again, this was another huge struggle because I wanted to kind of create a cut crease without it being a cut crease, but the red shadows that I own weren't showing up on the red base of my face like I had just explained. So I ended up using like a black eyeliner and black shadow, but that ended up being very, very, very dark. So they kind of look like eyebrows right here, but these are not his eyebrows. I repeat, these are not his eyebrows. This is me attempting to create a cut crease. Oh, look at that. It ended up just being really, really, really dark, and I couldn't blend it out after I put the black eyeshadow on. So what I ended up doing, you'll see in just a minute or two, is I took a red sparkly eyeshadow and I put it over top of the black, what we'll call a cut crease, because it wasn't blending out. And that ended up creating the effect that I wanted. So it all worked out in the end, and this like black cut crease kind of covered up my eyebrows, the darkness of my eyebrows that I was talking about earlier. And maybe that's my thought whenever I was doing this, was like, oh, I have to cover up the darkness of my eyebrows. Let me go in with like a really harsh cut crease. But then I couldn't blend out the black that I put for the cut crease. Anyways, long story longer, this is the red sparkly eyeshadow that wasn't showing up on my lid. So then I put it on the black cut crease, and it really darkened it and deepened it to exactly what I wanted, which was great. So this is me arguing with myself about the decisions that I'm making. Makeup is a process. Trust the process. Fix the process as you go. Have fun with it. It's just makeup. Now I am putting on glitter, because one, I do think that him would have glitter on his face at some point, because let's be honest here, him is him. But this was, again, my attempt at trying to really define that like cut crease lid, to define like the space underneath the eyebrow and then the lid space. And so I figured, you know what? Why don't we just throw some glitter on it? Glitter solves everything. And it did, actually. So yeah, I'm just putting like a bright sparkly red glitter on my lid, and it really did help to kind of like pop the eyes the way that I wanted them to. Then I put some liner in my waterline. I'm using white to give my eyes a bigger appearance. And then I do take a black liner on the bottom lash line, and I do buff that out just a little bit. I'm not going crazy. I don't want like a smoky eye, but I do need to kind of like diffuse the harshness of the black liner. Then I take a liquid liner pen. This one's from NYX, and I go on top of my eyelid, and I do a wing. Him doesn't have a wing, so I took some creative license, but I do think that the wing gave me a little bit more the shape of him's eyes. Instead of my eyes being so round, the wing kind of elongated my eyes to extend them, to kind of, again, trick the viewer's eyes into thinking that my eyes are a little bit of a different shape. Put some mascara on to prep my lashes for some false lashes. In the cartoon, him doesn't have that prominent of a lash. He has like 3 drawn lashes on either side of his eyeballs. And I will say that in cartoons like the Powerpuff Girls, that usually means that they have a dramatic lash. So I put some pretty dramatic lashes on my eyes. They're very, very long. And again, I chose these ones because they were spiky, they were a little bit longer, and they would show up nice against the glitter and the red. So that was my thought in choosing these. Once I do my lashes, I move on to eyebrows. And again, if you've watched any of my Halloween or face chart February videos, you know I struggle with eyebrows. So I really took my time in mapping out where I wanted my eyebrows to go. And then I go in with a pencil and I lightly draw them on first. Then I go in with a cream and I fill them in heavier with a cream. Then I go on top of the cream with a black eyeshadow to set the cream and to make sure that they're very, very solid and that they're not going anywhere. Eyebrows for these character looks make or break the look, so be sure that you are taking your time and getting the eyebrows right, because just like in real life, if you ruin the eyebrows, you ruin the look. It's the true statement. After finishing the eyebrows, I think my eyes needed a little bit more glitter on top, so I just go back in and I add a little bit more glitter because, again, my eyebrows were higher than I thought they would be, so I wanted to raise up my eyelid space. So I just added a touch more glitter to my eyelids and brought it up a little bit. Nothing like crazy, but it really helped to kind of create like a larger lid, if that makes sense. Then after I finish my eyes, I move on to my lips, and I'm just taking a black eyeliner and I am lining my lips and giving a very prominent him lip style. He has a very accentuated Cupid's bow, and then he kind of brings it out on either side slightly into like a smile, like a little bit of a clown smile. So all I'm doing is taking my black eyeliner and giving myself that very him lip, and then I fill it in with a black liquid liner, a black liquid lipstick. But again, take your time because my black eyeliner was very, very creamy, and so it glided on a lot smoother than some of my lip liners, that's for sure. Moving on to his cheeks or his blush, he has two pink circles on his cheeks. And so I'm just going in with a white jumbo eyeshadow pencil first to create the actual circles, and then I am going to fill those in with some light pink face paint, cream paint. Then after his cheeks are his goatee, and so I just do a black triangle on my chin with the cream paint, and then I take some powder and I set it just to make sure that it won't move anywhere. Dust that off. Then I cut out a little like swirly cue for his goatee, and I just use some eyelash glue to stick that to my chin. Because I don't have any facial hair, so this worked in a pinch, I guess. After this, I move on to his ears. I bought these off of Amazon, and I spray painted them. I primed them with some gray because the red wasn't adhering to them. Then I painted them red, and I'm just using a little bit of eyelash glue or liquid latex to keep them on my ears. They came in a 3-pack. I'll link them down below. Then after the ears go on, I made this pink collar, and I love how it sparkled, but it was a little bit of a dark pink. Him has a light pink collar, and so I made this one, and I actually have another one that I'll show you at the end of the video. But anyways, and then I put my lobster claws on. Also bought these off of Amazon, and I put the black detailing with some fabric paint on them. They worked out great. And this is the look. This is what we've come up with. This is the him look. I love the lobster claws. Again, this collar that I made is a little too dark. I love that it sparkles, but his is very, very light pink. So I'm going to show you the collar that I had originally bought that is actually more of a white with a pink iridescent. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. This was the one that I had originally bought off of Amazon, but when it came, it was a little too white for my liking. Anyways, here's the look. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. I will link all of the products that I use down in the description box below. If you are interested, you can check them out on your own time. Be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more videos. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Halloween. Have safe. Be fun. Have a good time.